to another room.
Is that a wig that you have on your head?
Yeah. I told you that before.
I mean, so what's your real hair?
My real hair is like
your hair looks like this.
my real hair, if I were to straighten it, it's like this long, and it's like blondish, brownish color.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I like dark, but I'm too afraid to dye my hair because, you know, black people, we don't really have my hair color normally.
Black people, you're not black. Let's just get off of that. Next, black people, come on.
My hair is braided underneath. My hair is braided.
Okay, so you got cornrows.
I do it myself.
I'm getting Lisa right now.
Thank you. And I'm from North Carolina. It means I'm extra black.
Oh my God. You from North Carolina, so you extra black.
I am collard green and chitlin black.
Yeah, I hate chitlins.
Me too.
I was about to say, I hate that, man.
At our grocery store, the whole, like, you could buy the head, you could buy the big feet, pickled pig feet. I mean, I'm in North Carolina, I'm in the country.
We're going left now.
Let's do it.
All the way left.
What time you guys got?
9:50. We're super late.
Yeah, we were late today.
We're all on diesel time today.
Oh.
Man. I can't wait till we go live. Last
Ew.
You should get one of these, and it's not a vibrator, Lisa. You should get one of these. It's right here. For your muscles.
Why would I need that?
Don't you work out?
There's nothing wrong with my muscles. They're non-existent.
You don't have no muscles? You don't got no butt muscles?
Well, I mean, I have a little butt. I don't have like I have a.
You have a white girl butt.
No, because it is round. It's just petite.
You have a fatty.
My body is petite.
You have a fatty patty. A flatty patty.
No, it's not flat. Not flat. But I'm a little person, so it's a little booty.
You're a hobbit.
You're a hobbit.
I'm a big guy.
Well, whatever.
Can't you see the muscles through the you know what I'm saying? Can't you see it? Can't you see it? No, you can't see that?
No.
Oh, don't let me show you what I got.
Please stop before you get a strain.
Oh wow.
You're gonna have to break out the Bengay or something.
Oh, Bengay, yeah. That's all.
Bengay's awesome. Tiger Balm, Bengay. Love it.
Yep. We be live in about 1 minute.
1 minute. All right.
Yep.
1 minute.
That will give me enough time to alter this picture.
Yeah, the video is up right now. I'm just adding some things.
Yeah, but oh, sweet. Oh.
Yeah.
Recommended for me a live Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas concert. What?
Wow.
They can hear you speaking, Lisa.
Okay, so everybody watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the band, not the movie.
Do you guys watch documentaries?
Me, I watch like 2 or 3 a day.
Did you watch the Michael Jordan doc?
No, but my dad did.
We're going to talk about that. That's the topic I want to bring up. And also, if you guys watch there's a movie called.
Is it the story behind the crying meme?
Shut up. I just hiccuped. No, he cried. He cried when he was giving when he was being when he went to the Hall of Fame. That's what he was crying.
So
Well,
it
guys,
is the story behind the crying.
You're live.
No.
Let's start this podcast. Ready?
Let's
Start
do
getting
it.
some viewers and stuff. So let's go. Let's do it. Let me get this lower a little bit, and then we're good to go. What's going on, my sex YouTubers? Welcome back to Ricky 365. My name is Rick, and this is your channel, guys. Today is the 19th of June, 2020, with me, co-host Lisa Escobedo and Letren Diesel, guys. Let's give those guys a round of applause real quick, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Happy Juneteenth!
Hell
Happy
yeah.
Juneteenth!
Don't forget,
My
guys,
brothers.
to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. In addition to that, guys, if you have any questions, go to the comment section below or call the show, guys, okay? So you got a couple options. We're going to wait a couple seconds until people start getting to the chat. Joel T, man, that's a big thing today.
Yo, happy Juneteenth. Am I cutting out?
No, you're not cutting
If
out.
only.
Am I? Am I good?
You are pretty
Mic
good, yeah.
check? Okay. Lisa, I would like to say happy Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? We broke the chains, the bondage.
Hey, guys, welcome to the show. What are we thinking? What are we doing today? Today's gonna be recap, but I think you're gonna be talking about Juneteenth. That's how you say it.
Juneteenth.
He wants to
Juneteenth.
talk about it.
That's
Happy
okay.
And I'm like,
Juneteenth.
Let me add it to the title of the.
You know what I'm saying? This is a day that we should remember. We remember July 4th. We better remember Juneteenth. Let's go.
Okay.
did you remember it last year?
Hell no.
He wasn't.
Okay then. That's my whole point. That's my whole. Let's get this started right now.
Oh man.
Let's get this started right now.
Hell nah. Hell nah. But you know what?
I mean, oh my gosh.
I'm with the
oh my
cause
God.
right now. I'm with the cause right now.
Okay.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Okay.
Happy
All right.
Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth.
No, happy following the fat, following the herd, doing what people tell you to do. That's what that is.
Okay. Guess what? You did what people told you to do when you put that wig on.
Oh,
shit,
no, you
dude.
didn't.
Dude.
First of all, nobody tells me what to do. And you know what? Next time I'll switch it up. What do you want?
No, you
Green,
won't.
burgundy,
No, you won't. Yeah.
green,
Let me see
burgundy, hot
happy.
pink. Hot
Whatever
pink.
you can. Put it on whatever you can.
Actually, the hot pink looks good on me.
Hot pink don't look. What you look like? You probably look like a.
The hotness.
No, you probably look. What's that? Cotton, like
All
a
the
cotton
way.
candy. You look like cotton candy.
Yeah, cotton candy. People want to eat cotton candy.
Probably. Ain't nobody want to eat that shit. Cotton candy.
Everybody does.
It's bad for you. Cotton candy is
No.
bad for you.
Cotton candy is muy delicioso.
So, like I said, happy Juneteenth.
Okay.
And if y'all don't know what Juneteenth is, that was the day that I think the official date when they abolished slavery. But of course,
It
there was
was
still
the day
slaves.
that somebody told Texas that they were free.
Well,
Because news travels slow, they didn't have any phones or
Correct.
anything. So by the time they made it to Texas, it was June 19th.
there it is. And that's where I'm at. I'm in Texas right now. And we out here.
For the first time in your life. And you're
Right.
and what do you mean? You weren't even you as you say every show, you're from Trinidad. So
There you go. Yeah, I'm from Trinidad.
But you're celebrating today, Juneteenth, yeah? That's okay. If you want to celebrate that, that's okay. You can do that. Keep
Yeah,
celebrating.
it's called me following the herd.
Yes,
Hey,
it totally is.
I don't
It
care.
totally is.
Ain't no shame in my game. Ain't
I
no
mean,
shame.
like the
Game.
social media was flooded today
Right.
with this, and I'm like, it won't like this last year. Y'all just now realize this thing happened. I mean, what the heck?
Nah, they ain't just realize it. We just, you know what I'm saying? Our eyes are open. Stay woke. Stay woke, my queen. Stay woke. Stay woke, my queen.
Oh, now you agree I'm black. Thank you. You can never take it back. You can never take it back.
Well, a queen is not necessarily black.
Bro, you know I'm black.
The queen of England ain't black.
I'm black.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
You as white as the wall behind you.
I am not. My mama black, my daddy black. That makes me.
Ain't no proof. Ain't no proof of that, guys. So I want to talk about. So we talked about Juneteenth, but did you guys watch the Michael Jordan documentary, which was back in April?
Okay.
It was a 10-part series. It was off of, I think it was on, I want to say ESPN or Netflix. Maybe Netflix, but did you guys watch it?
I didn't have a chance. No.
Are you guys into sports?
Yeah.
Sports be into me.
It was fantastic. It was, what nastiness are you saying? It was fantastic. You guys definitely need to watch. What are you guys watching now?
Where is it?
Quarantined for this long. What are you guys watching?
I was binge watching American Gods, and also that? American Gods. It's good, but it conflicts with a lot of like historical things. So things when people don't stay true to like obvious facts, it kind of like bugs me a little bit, but that's the know-it-all in me.
Oh, so you finally admit that you're a Mrs. Know-It. You're from the planet.
I say it all the time. I'm a know-it-all. That's why I don't have friends.
You're a loser.
Totally a loser.
We're your friends. And
my parents are my Facebook friends.
Oh man. Lord. What is wrong with you? You good? Is it odd for you to interact with human beings? Like,
yes.
Did you come to Earth to assimilate? Like, what did you do? Hello, I am a real person. What is your name? This is how we introduce you.
So what you're saying is I was supposed to be beamed down as black, but I came out like this, and that's why
that's exactly
everybody.
Exactly.
Hey guys, let's go ahead with the Juneteenth video, okay? So we can start talking about it. What do you think?
Let's go.
Yes.
Juneteenth.
Let's do it. Let's go.
I usually give the history lessons around here, but go ahead, Aloe Black.
If the Emancipation Proclamation was passed in 1863, why weren't you free until 1865?
Well, it took 2 years for the Civil War to end.
Oh, so you were free when the war ended?
Nah, not for 2 more months because Texas landowners wanted another harvest.
That's not cool.
Well, none of it was cool. But an army ship arrived on June 19th, 1865 and announced we were free. That's why we celebrate.
And that was that, guys, right there. What are we thinking about it?
Oh, yes. That was awesome. That reminds me back in the day and you're watching Huh? You know, back in the day, the Sesame Street channel.
Okay.
I never watched Sesame Street.
Oh, I was born and raised with that.
I know. Yeah. You are not of this place. That was awesome, baby. Juneteenth, baby. Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows that people are wicked. They wanted
Why?
to get
Because they
another
didn't have telephone to call and say, "Hey, y'all free." That makes them wicked because they didn't have the technology to notify people sooner.
Well, it looks like it was more for the because I have no clue, but based on what I heard, it was I think about waiting for the next harvest or something before people can get released.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2 months after the Civil War ended. That's what they said.
Okay.
Nonetheless, I think it was like 2 years after the Civil War that it was actually an amendment.
Right. So it was the Emancipation Proclamation was done.
Did not free the slaves.
Oh, did you do your Are You Dumb segment?
No.
Okay, I guess you're gonna do one right now.
Okay. So, boys and girls, the Emancipation Proclamation did not free the slaves. People are walking around thinking.
What did it do, Lisa?
People are walking around thinking that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. He did not free the slaves, okay? The Emancipation Proclamation was a threat. It said, hey, Confederacy, come back into the fold. If you don't, then we're going to take your slaves.
Okay.
And by the way, the Union states that have slaves and the neutral states that have slaves, y'all get to keep y'all slaves regardless. So they did not free the slaves. It was just a threat. I repeat, it was just a threat. People are really walking around here thinking Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. And all I have to do is say, dang, y'all dumb.
Oh man, I didn't know that. That was actually pretty good. I thought the Emancipation Proclamation was literally a note or an amendment or whatever the hell it was to say slavery is done, everyone cease and stop. But okay.
No. And also during the war, there were 2 pieces of legislation that was passed, and neither one of those freed the slaves. One of them said that they will no longer return captured runaway slaves back to their owners. The second one said that, I think it was something like, slaves are not considered property, but they could still be enslaved. They're just not property or something like that, something to that effect. So my whole thing, and I cannot stress this enough, about the Civil War, if it was about slavery, why didn't they just free the slaves? The 2 legislations that they passed during the Civil War, one of them could have been, and the slaves are free. Just add a little sentence in, and the slaves are free. But they didn't. Why? Because it wasn't about slavery. It wasn't about freeing the slaves at all.
Dang, y'all dumb.
Dang, y'all dumb.
I didn't know.
Hey, Diesel, we start showing on the background. If you guys can't see, we're still showing the Juneteenth, celebration scene West Hollywood. I'm gonna continue sharing the video with you, the screen with you guys.
Yeah, let me see this.
So it's nice that ancestors, or not ancestors, sorry, descendants of slaves and slave owners get together
Lisa,
to party.
Hey, Lisa.
What?
Stop. Enjoy.
Hey,
Juneteenth. Yo, she can't dance. That girl cannot dance. What are we doing?
She danced better than me.
Oh, well, anything dances better. A rock, if I throw a rock on the floor, it'll boogie more than you. My goodness, man. Why is she dropping it low? Hey. Drop it for a real one. I like that.
I have to stop the sharing because when I do that, you guys get freeze on the live stream.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I see her drop it. I see her drop it for the real one right there. Look at that. Hey, that was turning up, boy. What song they playing?
Oh,
So,
okay.
question.
Let me see what song they play.
Question.
All
Would
right,
you
folks.
guys
Thank you for
dancing
joining
to
us, for sharing the videos.
Or is this
From West Hollywood,
or
California.
Is this spooning? Is what do you think?
This is a public place with a crowd of people. I wouldn't be there.
No, what I'm saying is, all right, well, they got their mask on, but what I'm saying is, the fact that they're celebrating Juneteenth. Do you think this is just going to be a one-time thing just because of the whole George Floyd situation and the climate that we're at in America right now, or do you think this is going to happen every year from now on?
Just like sending prayers to Paris or hashtag Me Too.
Yeah.
Any of those fads, it will be gone very quick. So this time next year, my social media will not be flooded with Juneteenth stuff.
Yeah, I agree. That's the bad part about this. That is definitely the bad part about this. It's literally just going to be because Black people, I guess, right now have the clout, and we are the talk of the town per se. This is why this has happened. But as soon as all this things dies down, you won't hear anything.
So let's go with this topic keeps coming back, guys. This white guilt is real. We talked about it the other day with Lisa, and I want to hear your opinion. I want to show the conservative twins real quick, and then we can jump into the topic. Okay.
We about to show y'all a couple videos, and unfortunately, this is not a comedy sketch. This is not Saturday Night Live. This is real life. This is reality. This is not fake news. Yeah, this is not a bad dream. This is real life. This is America.
Racism, anti-blackness, or violence. I will use my voice in the most uplifting way possible. And do everything in my power to educate my community. I will love my Black neighbors the same as my white ones.
Excuse me. Hey, excuse me. What? I work for Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry. I work for Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry that I scared you. But since I work for that company, my CEO has told me to come out today and to bring you on your knees because you have white privilege. So if they see that a white person is getting on their knees, that shows solidarity for the situation.
Oh, she got
the situation. And
Where's
could
Hitler
you just
at?
please
Where's
apologize
the new Hitler at?
for your white privilege?
Manhattan.
Just apologize.
I am. I'm trying to think of the right words to say because that's a big thing to say.
It's big. It's large in this country.
I'm incredibly sorry that.
You know, with this country, we have that president Donald Duck, that clown in office. You know, he's brought a lot of bigotry, and you're not a part of it, right?
No, God, jeez.
No, and so,
Thank
just.
you for letting me have a moment with my project.
Okay, you have a great day.
Okay.
What?
I don't even know where to begin. He just called our president a bigot, a racist.
Right.
And this is coming from a man who just put a woman on her knees because she was white.
Okay, so what do you guys think about this?
What are we thinking about this?
What are we thinking about this?
What in the hell?
So this is happening all over the country. I mean, this is not just on one instance. I mean, you can see Streamlabs, OBS. You can see Periscope. I mean, TikTok. You name it. I mean, this is like a trend right now. Like millions of people doing it.
So first of all, I'm extremely, as a future dictator myself, okay, I'm extremely impressed as to how in a very short time the
situation
people were able to subdue the majority class.
Wow.
I'm just kind of like in awe of it, from a future dictator's point of view. But
from a jackass, yeah.
Tomato. But this is like some crazy, ridiculous stuff. It's like I've been talking about how Black people, they need to get their they need self-confidence, and I did not realize that white people are now losing their own.
This is extremely funny to me. The fact that these punks are getting on their knees and doing all kind of crazy shit. This is hilarious. You're kissing boots. You're doing all type of foolishness. It totally defeats the whole purpose of what the original cause was, which is stop killing potentially what they thought they were saying, that only Black people were being killed, which is wrong. We looked at the statistics. It's not only Black people. It's a police problem as a whole.
Yes.
So the fact that these people are just they're just ignorant, and they're sorry, but they don't know what they're sorry for. So it's like when you apologize to your wife when she comes in the house and you don't know what she's mad for, and you just apologize just for no reason. Just to make everything good.
I never been in that situation, Diesel, for real,
Yeah, whatever.
I'm 100%. I'm 100%,
You've never been in that situation where you just apologize?
Nope.
Get out of here.
Nope, not me.
I'm a two-time divorcee, so I ain't been apologizing.
I know you didn't apologize when you looked into the mirror today. So
sorry. So what we're thinking, do you think that this is something that is going to continue? Are we going to see,
yes.
A major wave of, Black Americans just going on the streets and white Americans or Caucasian just kneeling down so Black individuals pass?
Well, what I can see, I'll take this so far, Lisa, but I can see that from all this, that the real racist, or let's just say, I'll say like the KKK or whatever, they're gonna see this and they're going to uplift and uprise, and I think we're gonna see a lot more we're gonna see a lot more of the radical right come out, because they're gonna think that we intentionally try to embarrass them and went too far, because this is what this is going. This is going too far. So that's what I see.
I'm with you, Diesel, right there when you're talking about the radical right. But I mean, based on the time we've been doing this, and then the times that we've been, just getting to know these organizations and then their outreach, and we're when we're talking about the KKK, we're really not talking about a bunch of people. There's a bunch of people that are systematically racist, just because where they grew up, based on their backgrounds. And then when I say this, I'm talking about both. I'm talking about everybody: Hispanics, whites, Blacks, Asians. So people, they're being raised and they've been growing up with some kind of opinions about the other race or the other group or the other class or the other religion or the other sex, you name it. So I don't think that is just a white versus Black kind of situation, because this is what we are seeing in our social medias. But the more you expand your margin, I tell everybody, well, not everybody, I tell people all the time that we are margining by our boundaries that we put in ourselves. It's like you go to Facebook and you start looking for I don't know, for an hour or two, things about, in my case, Arizona. So everything that I will see on social media, due to social engineering, and AIs or artificial learning, is going to be things from Arizona. Facebook is going to feed me that. Netflix is gonna show me that, things like that. So I think that we got to come to a point where we can all see the bigger picture, and see is this happening to Italians in New York against Jewish people, you know? So when we say just black and white, it's like, okay, I hear you, but what about everybody else?
But you see, I remember we had a video probably last week about the Hispanic guy you were translating for us, and he was like, what happens if it happens to an Hispanic guy, da 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 da. I think this is going to happen if we take this too far. And when I say we, if I say black people take this too far, we're not just going to have the race that is being held accountable resent us, but the other races too, because they're going to be like, hold on. They're either going to try to say, hold on, white people, you did this to us and you did this. So we want our turn now, And I kind of saw that from that video that you showed us. So we got to be very, very cautious. Our main goal is to get police reform, get it passed, get something stable, get something that we can rely on. But making people kneel down and say you part of the Black Lives Matter just to get some views, because he was not working for no damn Black Lives Matter.
How do you know?
Man, please.
Yeah, there was a little thing on his on the camera where he was streaming, saying it's like a text saying I don't actually work for Black Lives Matter.
See,
he's like doing a prank. This is a prank,
don't work for no damn Black Lives Matter.
So
the same way how them guys was having those that couple kiss their boots and stuff.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's crazy, man. Y'all doing too much, man.
That was crazy. That was left lane.
Well, I think that of course there'll be some spike in, I guess if you want to call it, the alt-right behavior, but I don't think that it'll be an overwhelming wave. And I think that you will see more and more of actually stuff like this, where the majority is being put into their place or submitting or succumbing. And it's because it's the end of our societal lifestyle.
Oh my goodness, you understand. Idle life cycle.
It is. It is. Except
So what's going to happen at the end of this societal life cycle?
Well,
who's going to be president?
Hold on. You have to take it step by step. So
all right, give me the first. All right, what step are we in?
So first, if that cop in the Wendy's parking lot cop guy, if he is found guilty, then we will become lawless faster. And when after we're a lawless society, then there'll be a revolution. If Joe Biden becomes president, which I think that he will, I'm not voting for him because I don't vote for racists, but if he becomes president, then we will be over faster than if Donald Trump became president, because Donald Trump will push back in some sort of physical way, and Joe Biden will be kneeling. If his vice president lets him live, Joe Biden will be kneeling to this fake Black Lives Matter person, which ultimately will still end in a lawless society, which will then end in revolution. Because revolution always comes after lawlessness. Always. Pick a civilization, pick a time period. Before they have a revolution, they have a lawless society. A society that doesn't give a damn. Watch.
I got nothing to say about that, Rick.
I want to add something. Yeah, I want to add something there, Lisa. I think that you got a point. I believe that if Biden gets in office, we will continue seeing this, pandemic, stimulus check, reparations. Everybody gets $1,000 for 3 years or something like that. Minorities, you will not have to pay taxes. Only people that identify as Caucasian. So I'm pretty sure that everybody will get their DNA test. I'm like, hey, I am not 100% Caucasian. So I want my
Thank
reparations as
goodness.
well. I think if Trump, when you mentioned that if Trump gets reelected, which I believe he will, he will back up with force. I don't think that he will back up with force. I think that he will do what he's been doing for the last 3.5 years. He's going to back up with more jobs, lower unemployment, more. He just passed. He just passed justice reform. Law. Federal. So now it's up to the Senate and the Senate and the
House of Representatives
and the House to pass their own bills. And based on what I seen online, the House they don't have a strong bill, and I will show you. I will show you a little video of a Republican African American individual who is here, who was at the House just telling people like, "Hey, this is not working," And another dude was like telling him, "You guys are here just to get clout, like pretty much." Like you guys are here just to get exposure, so you guys can get elected. And it's the same thing, Lisa. Also, you mentioned that if the guys from Atlanta they get any kind of penalties or jail sentences, they are not going to. And why is that? Because the law in the city of Atlanta, they have ruled many other times that a taser is a deadly weapon. It is a deadly weapon. So
True. It doesn't matter if it's a deadly weapon or not, first of all. But secondly, that is true, but he's not going to be acquitted or convicted by a law book. He is going to be acquitted or convicted by human beings in our current climate.
Well, let me get you.
And they will seek their revenge on the evil police department, and they will throw him in jail.
I really, I don't think, I get your point. I don't think that the police departments are evil. Yes, they have bad apples, like in the military. In the military, we got good
Any
apples.
job.
Any job, Burger King, bad apples, Pawn shop, bad apples.
Yeah. You don't think somebody at Burger King's not spitting in somebody's food?
Yeah,
because they're having a bad day.
How about
stealing from the register? There's bad apples in every job.
Let me tell you where I believe the minorities. Okay, this is where I believe that the third minority in America should be focusing instead of focusing on the police officers. They should be focusing on plan.
Did you say the third minority?
Yeah, I'm talking about Black Americans.
I know that. That's what. Because just gonna keep stuffing that in, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. Because we are. Anyway.
You wait.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is,
joining me now for a reaction.
Yes, right. If Black Americans, okay, want to really grow in America, I'm going to take that back. Black Americans are growing in America just like anybody else. They have the same privilege. They have the same chances. Everybody goes to Burger King, and eat their food. Everybody, you get the chance to, if you get a job, to get your 800 credit score. In the city of Tucson, everywhere I've been, North Carolina, Arizona, Virginia, the business owners, you see big group blacks, big group foreigners, and big group whites. It all depends. But where I'm trying to get is, I don't see this as a problem. I don't see this as a problem. I want to show you a video of the changing the subject on Officer Tatum, and he's going to talk about.
Wait. What don't you see as a problem?
I don't see a problem that the media is trying to push into Black America, that Black America is being oppressed. That is oppressed right now.
Right.
I don't think
the term is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a time.
Oh, there was a time. Yeah,
but,
it's history.
But now, no. Now, the only oppression is in the mind.
Is themselves. It's themselves.
It's in the mind.
It's like
it's
I say, people are marching. People are marching by their boundaries of their own of themselves. If you open your eyes, just tell me how you think that LeBron James made it to be the best player in the NBA today? Working hard, Ivy Leagues, he wasn't raised no poor, bottom of the. What about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen? You keep calling it, all these players, we have what's the I mean, I don't think there's a big majority of.
But even if you talk about the financially disadvantaged people who are born into poor financial situation.
Okay.
There are so many opportunities that is out there. All they have to do is open the door and step through.
Open their eyes.
But but because of TV, the media, race baiters, all of these people are constantly telling Black people that this other group of people is keeping them down. They're too afraid to even approach the door of opportunity.
Well, I mean, if that's what you've been raised to do, for example, if that's how you've been raised, then you don't know any better. You can sit here and say, well, Black people, get yourself out the hole. But if I only knew what to be in a hole, I don't know anything else outside my hole. So that's the other issue too, is the lack of that goes back into strong families and being held. The parents have to be accountable.
Amen.
For what they're doing to their children.
Oh my gosh, I wish Mike Body was here.
So I mean, that's the whole issue when it comes down to it, because I was raised. My father, he always kept me with a Caesar or a low fade haircut.
I'm like, what in the world are you talking about?
A low fade haircut. It's a low fade.
Yeah.
Clean shaven. I was young, so I didn't really have beard. I can't even grow a beard now. I'm 34 years old. I still can't grow a beard.
Dang, you're a baby.
Anyways, so he did that because he didn't want me to go out into America and have them perceive me to be something that I'm not, which is a dreadlock, have dreadlocks, nappy head. You know what I'm saying? All my clothes were pressed, meaning, ironed. I had seams down my pants.
Perfect.
I didn't have anything hanging off my butt. Having seams on your pants is not a nerd. That's actually pretty fly.
Yeah, it's pretty
what I'm saying? That's pretty fly. So that's the issue too. I mean, a lot of people are victims to their own BS. That's the best I can say. But go ahead.
I would say most people, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, you're a victim to your BS because you keep thinking you're Black. So
I am totally Black.
I think that the common factor that you're showing right there, it's what I've been telling everybody, and then I hear on social media is the big I will say stopper or showstopper for Black Americans to raise to the best they can be is the issue of fatherless. Not having a father in the house. That's it, and then you can blame that to Planned Parenthood. So instead of I know you. I'll say that instead of focusing on going on the street telling white people, hey, kneel on the ground, because you have white privilege, there should be like lobbying, at the front of the White House, front of the House of Representatives or their mayor's offices, complaining about Planned Parenthood. Why we keep killing our people? I'm telling you, is the third minority group.
Who's this? Who's the other two?
Hispanics is
Number two.
Number two.
You guys are number two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who's number one?
White people.
Quite Caucasian.
So what is the issue within the Hispanic community?
I think the Hispanic community is very they're very passionate and very how can I say, if your father tells you to go vote Republican, you will vote Republican. If your mother tells you that you got to go, it's about most of the people that are coming to America for the last couple of years, 2-3 years.
Hey, that's a good movie.
They're coming here to going to America. Yeah, that's right. They're coming here to work, and then most of them they go to New York. They land on the East Coast, and you've seen how the East Coast has been changing. I think that they are awakening to to other Hispanic people who are pushing the conservative agenda, so they can understand. Hey, it's not you come here and you get a paycheck for 6 months or unemployment. Is that you come here, you get a job, and then after you get a job, you can go and then you can apply for affordable housing, and then the government will give you affordable housing, and then you start working, and you can go to the furniture store, and you can get your first set of furniture, and you can work, and every other week you can make a payment, and then I've seen how much of reward they feel when they pay off their note, on their furniture, probably $1,500. But then that right there gives them the sense of ownership of what they're doing. And then they start thinking, I can do it myself. I don't need the government to tell me what I need to do. I don't need to depend on the government. So they start, growing, and that's why you see all these trades being filled by Hispanics, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, people from Colombia, and you see them, opening businesses, and you see how everything affects, through Facebook ads. And the next thing you know is that you have somebody in your swimming pool charging you $150 because he goes over there once a week and then just like kind of brushing. But he's gonna do that to every other 300 pools in that neighborhood that you live, So,
and that's true. Black people are far more educated. We have, higher education than the Hispanic population, but the Hispanic population has more money.
Well, I can agree, because here, just being in Texas, of course, there's a lot of Hispanic people, and it was kind of a culture shock to me to see so much Hispanic people, and they're, no offense, but they're successful. They're very much successful, and although I was at my friend's house yesterday, and they called this Hispanic dude to help them put up a deck. And he charges $2,500 to put up a deck, but he puts up this person's deck, and the next person looks at what he did, and then he puts up another person's deck, and it's like, what in the world?
Clean money, bro. Easy.
Man. And that's the things that Americans. I can relate to that a little bit because of Jamaican. I'm not Jamaican, but our Jamaican cousins, we call them, they got the same little hustle. They have 5-8 different jobs, and they just hustle. And I think that's just a non-American trait, to hustle and to work.
Oh no, I hustle.
To make it on their own. I think that's a non-American trait, because most of the Americans that I've dealt with, they try to get the money as easy as possible. When I mean easy as possible, do some damn little con, They try to scheme and plot.
I think that some people still have the will. I'm a hustler. My dad is. If my friend Pete is in the audience, he hustles. The dude has a bazillion and one businesses. So I don't want to paint with a broad stroke. There are some people that are American and do hustle.
So let's go to this video real quick. Let's talk about message from Denzel Washington.
Dangerous people.
Roman, I'm concerned about you.
James Earl Jones do Oedipus the King at St. John the Divine Cathedral. I saw a taxi driver. I saw just actors on stage that you wouldn't even know. He's like, how did they do that? I'm still seeing people. I saw Mark Rylance, and I was inspired. You know, you find out that, yeah, maybe I can do that, and then you see those that really can do it. You know, I never wanted to be an actor, but ignorance is bliss. A little basketball. Look, I started rubbing my knees. Soon as that's interesting. It's psychosomatic. Yeah, I started.
Right here.
Talked about your people from Mount Vernon saying that, you know, like they've done like 40 years in the penitentiary together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, and, you know, incarceration rates in America has been a problem, especially as opposed to minorities. And Roman delves into the issues around the legal system. Do you think we've made any headway in the
I
legal
think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, yeah, they're little yummies. I said, who? He said, little yummies. Look up, Google Lil Yummy. Lil Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer.
Wow.
And you look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him, and he's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Who's doing life now, and a 16-year-old.
That makes no sense.
You blame the system? Where was his father? It starts in the house. It starts in the home. And yeah, well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
Yeah.
You know, like I did talk about my 3 closest friends, and they did, 15 to 25. One did 28, this and that. I was the only one of the 3 that had a father in my life, even though my parents were together. But I still had a father who was a gentle man and a good example.
Yeah.
And they didn't. We can blame the system if we want, but they didn't lock any of us up at 7.
Yeah.
We were all doing enough to get locked up. At 13, my parents sent me in another direction. They didn't have anybody to help them, and they kept doing what they was doing.
There we go. So, it's go back to what Diesel was talking about, where you have your father, he give you, he help you out, set you up, put you on the straight line, guide you, mentor you, and then, you are where you are thanks to your father. Correct me if I'm speaking out of character. I got my father was he was drinking every day, 2, 3, 4 beers. He was kind of a little like not an alcoholic. Now I call him alcoholic, but back then he was just drinking, and I was like very disappointed about that. But at the end of the day, I got friends that are dead back in Puerto Rico. They did nothing with their life. I'm the only one that is doing a podcast today. You know what I mean? And the factor is that I have a father. They didn't. I think one was living with the grandma, and the other 2 guys were living with, like, the father wasn't there. And Lisa, you have your father with you still today. So again, people are focusing too much on the wrong things, in America,
But my mother was the disciplinary. My dad was such a party animal. Like, he was just cool, like a real chill dude.
Yeah, but he was.
I hung out with my dad on the weekends. My dad and my uncle. It was me, my dad, and my uncle on the weekends, and I got to watch them party, live it up, get insanely. Did the kids still use the word crunk? I'm just a little girl watching them and listening to all their stories. They were in a band, so I got to listen to them play music. I mean, it was just fun. So, but my mom, she's very conservative and she don't do none of that.
I mean, but he was there, and then one way or another. So he not influenced, but he put your mom in the position. He enabled her to be the disciplinarian one. So
because he had all girls, and so he can't say no to daughters.
Of course,
we're all daddy's little girls.
I can say no to my daughter. So,
but that's love. That's love. He gave the love, and he must have given you some insight on especially how these knucklehead boys are out here.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
oh yeah.
It's not like just because he's not the disciplinarian, it doesn't mean, I'm not saying with you, but everybody on YouTube, just because you're not the disciplinarian doesn't mean that you're still not teaching, because you're teaching. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely teaching. I discipline, but I don't really discipline. Like if it comes to a point where I have to step in, then that means all hell has broken loose and I need to go ahead and quickly shock the system. But I like to teach, and I like to, especially my girls, I like to show them like, okay, why do you think you did that? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that was a wise decision? You know what I'm saying? And I like to dance with them and party. And that's all my children, my son and my girls. So you don't necessarily have to beat your children in order for them to.
Well, I was a good child.
That is a lie. Oh my God!
One spanking. I only had one spanking, and I was 7 years old. And
you need another one.
And I'll never forget it, because not only did my mom spank me, but my grandma, she drove. I think Zebulon's probably about an hour to Raleigh, just so she can spank me.
Nobody believes that.
They thought I was missing because I didn't come home, but I wasn't. I mean, I knew where I was. They just didn't know where I was.
They thought I was missing because I knew
they
where
even
I was.
called the police and everything.
How dare them,
Yeah. So and
you're horrible.
Needless to say, I was never bad again. So, yeah.
So
it's a good thing that we're giving credit to our parents today.
Have you ever gotten beat with like a twitch?
A switch? Yes.
Switch?
My grandma. So my mom, she gave me the spanking with a belt, but my grandma that drove from Zebulon to Raleigh, she came up with switches. Yeah.
She got your tail, huh?
Yep.
Did she have you pick it out?
No, she brought them with her because she lived in the country and we were in Raleigh. Raleigh is a big city.
You deserved all the beatings. You deserved it all. You definitely deserved it.
I wasn't missing. I knew where I was. I can't help they didn't know.
So she brought it.
I was 7 years old. I was super independent.
She brought those things from her house in the country. Like, I'm getting ready to go to Lisa's house, let's pick these things up, Wait a second, let's get on the car, kids. Let's go. 2 hours later, Lisa, hey, here we go. Hey, let's move on to the whole back thing about these cops in Atlanta.
Okay.
And then I got Officer Tatum. If there's any video that you guys want me to play, let me know.
I know the law. I know what use of force policies are in place. I studied the use of force policy in the state of Georgia, and the officers were justified. The man physically assaulted police officers. He resisted arrest. He punched one of them in the face. He took off running, and the point in which the officers could use deadly force against him is when he turned and he pointed the taser at the police officer and he discharged the taser. The taser is a deadly weapon. It's also articulated in Georgia law, but if the taser were to hit a police officer, it would lock his body up and render him incapable of defending himself. So physical, or the fear of physical bodily injury or death, is justification for the police officer to use deadly force. It's very clear to me.
There you go.
So he pretty much mentioned that it's very clear to him that and this is an officer talking about the Georgia law. So they're saying, hey, yes, this is the thing. He turned around, he pointed the taser, and then he deployed the taser. At that moment, that weapon becomes a deadly weapon. I mean, you don't have to hit the officer, in order to that weapon be a deadly weapon. It's like if you turn around with a pistol and you shoot at the officer, you don't have to actually hit the officer. So for that action to become a deadly action, and we're still thinking that I am thinking that the officer are gonna get what they deserve based on the law, and it's not gonna be any jail time. Maybe maybe a civil lawsuit that the city of Atlanta will end up paying.
Well, no, that won't go to the city of Atlanta. Let's say, well, maybe if the city of Atlanta does their internal investigation and they say, oh yeah, this guy totally broke protocol, we're not going to sit there and defend him in court. He's on his own, because they'll likely ask for a dismissal, or ask for them to be dismissed from the suit, not the suit itself, them taken off the suit. And then that poor guy is on his own. But I don't see how he broke protocol, but it's the government. They can finagle it. They can MacGyver it.
What do you mean you don't know how he broke protocol?
Somebody aimed something at him. He shot. I don't see how he broke protocol. The only thing that they could get him for, and they can't because the guy is dead, is that is a civil rights violation for not explaining that he was under arrest and reading him his Miranda rights. But that's a civil suit, not a criminal case, and it would have to be filed by the decedent. Not something like that would not be something filed by the estate, and so that is not something that would happen at all.
So what about him? What about him getting kicked while he was on the ground, and they didn't do any aid to him?
So there was a report that came out that the guy that stepped on him, he actually was suffering from a concussion from the scuff. Yeah, that's what he said. So if he can medically prove that,
But what about the aid now?
So that's what I need more information about, because George Floyd couldn't breathe. And when you can't breathe, when somebody can't breathe or somebody passes out, you give them CPR, right? But somebody who is alert and awake and bleeding out, what kind of aid do you give them? You wait for the ambulance. You can't there's no CPR to give somebody who's alert and breathing.
So you don't give them the same type of medical attention.
What medical attention would you give them?
Can I finish?
Okay.
Do you not give them the same medical attention that you would give like a combat wound, like if you're deployed? Like if I shoot
if they have that training, but I don't think that they would have that kind of training.
You don't put a tourniquet on the back of an individual. If that's where
I'm talking. No, not tourniquet, man. I'm talking about put pressure on the wound.
That is correct. Yeah.
I think the most training that they would have is CPR.
Yeah.
Well, but we don't know. I think that they should know. I believe that should be part of the police academy, training them how to do first aid, rendering first aid for because they work with a weapon, so they should know how to treat a bullet wound to the stomach, to the back, to the leg. You know what I mean? I think that
And if one guy is suffering from a concussion and he's dazed and confused, and the other guy's like adrenaline is pumping it out of his mind because he just shot someone, is there a reasonable belief that they could have even rendered aid?
Yeah, because that's the same type of pressure that we get dealt with when we're downrange. If I shoot,
soldiers have to deal with that daily. This is not a daily occurrence for the police.
But what I'm saying is it goes off of training. That's what it is. And it's not a daily occurrence for a soldier. It is only when he's in the deployed environment where he knows, something is about to pop off. As a police officer, it should be a lot more rigorous because every time you go to work, it could be a potential shooting.
Correct.
And you got to think about, as a soldier, for a year to 15 months, we're in that mind state. But as a police officer, they're in that mind state 365 years on the force.
I highly doubt that the police go out every day thinking that there's going to be a shooting. I take that back. It depends on the neighborhood.
I disagree.
Depends on where they're patrolling.
I disagree with that. I think.
Do you think here in the country, Currituck County Police Department are going out thinking that there's going to be a shooting? I think they're like probably asleep in their car, waiting for their wife to come up with their dinner.
What I'm saying is I can only base it off of my interactions. So when I worked in the prison, and I talked to other prisoners, the moment that what you're describing is become complacent, then that's when something really bad can happen. Whenever I have an interaction, I go up to them called the interview stance. And the interview stance is having your hands, either here at your chest, but it's not interlocked, because if you interlock them, if something happens, your adrenaline will do this and you'll freak out. So we're taught whenever you have an engagement, it's right here, your palms are on top of each other like this, and this is your interview stance. Because if anything happens, you're able to push off, you're able to reach for whatever you got to reach for. And if we're trained that way and working in the prison, I know police officers are also trained whenever you have any type of interaction with somebody that you can't be complacent with it, because that's where problems happen. So I knew, I just based off of the body language of that police officer, especially the second one who came around, he kind of escalated it a little bit. They knew something was happening. They probably read his file and realized he was out of prison. This is his, he was about to go to jail or whatever. And so I disagree with what you're saying. I think police officers I think this is why a lot of shootings are happening, because they're so hyped up.
They're so hyped up. A lot of shootings. How many shootings do you think are happening? By the way, this is not making my adrenaline pumping, but I'm also old, so maybe I don't have it.
No. So that's if like this right here doesn't make your adrenaline pump. What I'm saying is, if I'm talking to you, let's say I'm talking to you, and your hands are crossed like that, right? So cross your hands, right? Your fingers are interlocked, right? You're talking to me, and what if I swing on you? Are you able to block that in time?
No, I have slow reflexes, but I'll have my keys and then boom, right in the jugular.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, as a fighter, and this is right here. If I do this, I'm more likely, because my blood, like I know it's gonna be. It's like you have fight, flight, fawn, and something else, freeze. They added fawn just recently.
I used to know fight, flight, froze, or fight, flight, freeze.
Yeah, so they have fight, flight, freeze, and what is it? And fawn. Fawn is a new terminology that the social, whatever these people are, they just added this. So I'm gonna explain what fawn is, right? They said that fawn is they were looking at monkeys, apes, and
what you trying to say?
There was this the male ape. He was getting pruned, or I guess that's the right word, but he was getting cleaned by a female ape, and they saw something that was peculiar, because the female ape, she was urinating on herself. She was so afraid of the male ape that she was still cleaning him, but urinating on herself while doing it. And they said that in human interactions, we see that with a lot of people who've been abused. And so let's say I'm the abuser, I come home and you're my wife, you want to make sure you do everything right, meaning you have my food prepared. You don't want me to get upset because if I get upset, then I will beat you. So that's why you go into the fawn aspect of things. The freeze, you know what freeze is, when you just freeze up. And this is what I'm talking about. If your hands are here, some people freeze up, and this is what they know. This is what happens. They freeze up and they do this, and their body clenches together because their body is trying to protect those vital organs, and they're just freezing up like this. That's why you don't put your hand like that. And of course, flight and fight, boom, boom, and then you leave, So y'all didn't know? Oh, damn, y'all done. So freeze.
Dang.
Flight, whatever. Freeze, flight, fight, and fawn. FAWN, fawn. Look it up, guys.
That is oddly the color of my foundation.
What color is fawn?
This color.
What color is that? White?
No, bro, it is not.
Is it?
It is not. No.
It looks like plaster. It looks like sheetrock. You got makeup that looks like sheetrock. But yeah, that's why you don't do that. And I believe every police officer, when they go onto a call or they answer a call, they're ready.
So what else we got going on, guys, today? We talk about, the Juneteenth, which we have a video on the background. We talk about the police in Atlanta. We talk about the issue of fatherless. How can you say that? There's a word for that?
Fatherless?
Fatherlessness?
Yeah. Fatherlessness.
Yeah.
I mean, this Black Lives Matter crowd, if it gets any whiter.
Hey man, that's good. What did we talk about? I remember that good point.
What did I tell you?
Heavy.
Sean King, a white man, is a charlatan. Did you know he used to be a preacher at a megachurch?
No.
Yes. Mr. Net worth $12 million, white male, was a preacher at a megachurch, allegedly, according to him and his bio. The dude's a charlatan. He's a charlatan. Do not follow him.
What's a charlatan?
A scallywag.
Whoa. So that means what? That he's a prostitute or something?
No. He is a master manipulator, a bamboozler. He's created all this chaos. I'm wondering for what purpose.
Where did they get the word charlatan from? You're a historian. Tell me what that word charlatan came from.
I'm not a historian of words. It's just I'm a Southerner, so we say things like charlatan.
Let me show you a quick video about Sean King is not a good person that I found in YouTube real quick.
Kinfolk ain't kinfolk, and he not even skinfolk.
But falsely claiming to have special knowledge or skill. That's what the charlatan is.
There's got to be other definitions.
Okay, during this time, it's very scary. It's very hard for us, but I'm just letting y'all know we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. So today's video, I was really kind of scared to make this because y'all know my content isn't usually. We don't really talk about controversial topics. Like, we do talk about controversy, but we don't talk about like controversy that's affecting the world. Like, we talk about little controversy that occurs on social media, but this is a world issue. We're going to be talking about the fraudulent Sean King, okay? Because I am tired. I thought we already established that Sean King was not a good person, but I see that he's still here. and I don't like it, and many other people do not like it. Now, if you're one of my white followers or non-black followers, and you guys want to know how to help us during this time like this and support the Black Lives Matter movement, the first thing y'all can do is stop giving Shaun King attention. Stop sharing his posts, stop following him, and most importantly, stop giving him your money. It's also kind of getting on my nerves because you know how so many celebrities are pretending that they care because they're just sharing something just to show their followers so they won't like unfollow them or anything. I see so many of them are following Shaun King and supporting him and giving him money, and I'm just like, y'all, please stop. Just take the time out of your day to do a little bit of research on these people before y'all give them y'all money. So I came to the conclusion today that so many people really don't know what Shaun King has done. So I am taking that risk, and I am going to inform you guys about the fraudulent Shaun King. Now, I don't want this video to be a little bit too lengthy, so every article that I do refer to, I am going to have a link down below. For those of you who don't really know who Shaun King is or don't really know much about him, he is a Black Lives Matter activist who rose to fame. I wouldn't really say fame because he's like an internet person. I say he got attention when the murder of Michael Brown took place in Ferguson, Missouri. That's when everybody kind of figured out who Shaun King was, and we started to support him because we thought he was a good person. Now, before I go any longer, I'm going to show y'all a picture of what Shaun King looks like. That man is not black. That man is not biracial. That man is white. That's a white man. He has himself done up like a black man, okay? Let's just go ahead and put that out the picture. We know Shaun King is not black, okay? So just think about that. Basically, if you go onto Twitter, you will see a whole bunch of people just dragging Shaun King to filth because Twitter usually is always the first to be informed about what is going on. Where people have basically on Twitter, a lot of people have come up and spoke about their experience with Shaun King.
You guys
might be biracial.
No, he is white.
Let's take a look at that guy.
Shaun.
It's right there. You know anybody can get weaves on their hair if they got hair by just putting one of those pantyhose in your head, you know?
That dude's white.
No, I mean, he's biracial.
No.
He's white and half Italian. Half white, half Italian.
Oh man. Half white, half Italian?
Yeah.
No.
That man
who
white.
He
white.
says is
damn.
That dude, if you shave Jonathan Davis from Korn and give him a fade, you got Shaun King. That dude's white.
He came from Morehouse, baby. Yeah. He came from Morehouse.
And do you know how many white people go to HBCUs?
Hold on, dog.
In Elizabeth City State University is full of white people and brown people. You want to know why? Even though it is an HBCU, it's also cheap and the only school in the area. So they go on scholarship because they're the minority.
So what you're telling me is Shaun King is a white man?
Let's go.
Yes.
And the threat against black
on his birth certificate, it's his father, but he's saying that it's his stepfather, which, by the way, is a white man. In his bio, he says that his mother told him that his real dad is black. Just like, Elizabeth Warren's mom told her she's Indian. That dude's white.
So
he's
what's
white.
the problem? So what's the problem?
The problem is he's white. What's the problem with him being white?
Yeah.
Because with the things that he does and how he does it, and he creates chaos to collect money. He's not actually helping or funneling the money to the people in need. I mean, is Ferguson not still in the same condition it was after the riots? He's not bundling the money to the black people. No, it's either going to white people running for office or in his pocket.
That's right. That's right.
So he is a master manipulator. He's a charlatan. He's a bamboozler, and people are following him, and it drives me nuts. Like, why can't you open your eyes and see this person for who he is?
Diesel, you got?
I mean, it's like freaking Beetlejuice.
You got something, Diesel?
All right. So you saying that he's.
Let me.
What is the purpose of Black Lives Matter?
Exactly.
Okay.
So tell me what the purpose.
Exactly. What's the purpose? To make him richer. That's the purpose.
Wasn't it to bring, I guess, Black people to the forefront, pretty much to be where we're at right now?
To me,
this is where you want Black people to be at right now, in the chaos that's around. That's where you want Black people to be. That is the dignified way to be. That is the uplifting way to be.
I'm gonna let you land. Are you landing?
I'm asking you a question. You think that this is the dignified way to be? That this is respect. This is going to bring respect to yourself and to your culture.
So what I'm talking about, as far as when Black people, what I'm talking about is, it is brought to attention that, you know, although it might not be happening now, when I'm talking about the abuse on Black people, it was happening in the past, and at least now it's coming to forefront, and maybe we're gonna get a bill passed that might reform the police department, you know, because we all know how corrupt the police department has been in the past. In the past, we all know that, right?
But we're here, we're today.
So what I'm saying is, was the Black Lives Matter supposed to get us to where we're at today, or does it have a deeper cause? I really don't know what the cause of the Black Lives Matter, unless
because they don't have one other than making money for Sean King and whatever politician he wants to support in that moment, which currently the moment is the politicians that he support are not even Black.
But are they for Black people? That's what I'm asking. He
funnels money to Joe Biden. Do you think Joe Biden's for Black people? Joe Biden is not for Black people. Joe Biden looks down at. You don't like Joe Biden.
You don't like Joe Biden, and I can't change your mind about something that you don't like. So you say he's racist.
Sure, you can.
No, I
am open, but he is racist.
That's what I'm saying. So I can't really change.
But he is. You can change him, which is not going to happen. He's like 1,000 years old. He is who he is. And
so that's the same thing they said about Trump. Trump is a racist, but yet.
But tell me something that makes Trump racist.
You tell me something that makes Biden racist.
Play that clip again. Play that clip.
You talking about the clip? You talking about the clip that was edited together? Like I can't go off of stuff that's edited.
His speech. His speech was not edited together. He actually said that Robert Byrd was his leader, his boss, and his friend.
So if I tell you, my father, let's say not my father, but you know, you have people who have parents that are racist, but they still say that's my father, he is my whatever. Like,
so he could have just said friend. He could have just said friend. He could have just said friend, but he said his leader.
He chose
his boss.
Just because he didn't speak the way his vernacular didn't come out the way you wanted it, that doesn't mean that he's racist.
I'm just taking him for what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah, so
I'm not saying.
Let me add something.
I'm not putting anything into it.
Let me add
I'm
something.
Literally just taking his words.
Yeah.
Taking it all in.
So let me add something here. So these circles that we see in politics are very close to what we see in the military with general officers, and feel great officers. Okay, and the only way they get to where they are, the only way you get to be. I'm talking this way so the viewers can understand this. So Lisa, you as well. For you to make a full start, or for you to make a full bird colonel in the military, you need to have a great support team. And part of the support team, it means that you need to have a mentor or a series of mentors. Okay. Now, if you want to make it to a 1-star general, 2-star general, 3-star general, then you got to have somebody, a real mentor who's going to guide you through, who's going to watch your steps. Is going to build you to who you're going to be. Okay. That's why when they have the chain of commands, you see, or the retirement ceremony for full star generals, 1, 2, 3, 4 star generals, they fly these people from all over the country. It's the same thing with in politics. Once you go to the Senate, you got to have a mentor. You got to have somebody like you are the protege of him or her. So when it comes to Biden, and he speaks so openly about this, about Robert Byrd. Yeah, Robert Byrd.
Whatever it's called.
He's so Biden is a protege of him. That's like his mentor. That's why he supported him so strong for so many years.
So who was Trump's mentor?
His father. You should read a biography about him.
I know his father. His father gave him $1 million.
Good.
Good.
Good. I
for
hope that
him.
my father did the same for me. The thing is that it's a different line. They were business people. These guys right here are 100% politicians. They understand the dynamics of being a politician. You need to know two things. Okay. You need to understand that people have to vote for you, and then that you need to influence people to vote for you. And how you make them to vote for you? By getting on their feelings. You need to get really deep on people's heart, like
that
really deep on people's heart,
going.
so they can wake up that morning and they're like, man, I'm tired, man, I don't want to do nothing but Biden. And then you feel that natural instincts of doing something good for somebody that you don't know.
So who is Roy Cohn? Who is that?
Roy Cohn. Oh, it's one of Trump's father's attorneys that did represent Trump briefly before he died in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Was that his mentor?
He was the family attorney, and he was always the family attorney. He is much older than Trump, so possibly.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
It said it was Donald Trump's attorney and mentor.
Yeah, I don't. People will say that, but a mentor, when you're rich, you see your
he's the hired help.
Yeah, when you're that rich, you see attorneys, you see doctors, you see doctors, people with PhD, like they just here for a paycheck. Oh, you're here. Oh yeah, you gonna tell me something?
Well, hold up. If y'all want to talk about it, then we can't just skip over this. Then we have to look at how Donald Trump and Roy Cohn's ruthless symbiosis. So the guy's name is Roy Cohn. I mean, and they have articles here. So I mean, if we're gonna go on one side of the spectrum, we have to look.
What about Roy Cohn? You're just saying his name.
It said he was a sinister. Hold on, I'm reading the article right now.
He was a big bad lawyer. Yes, that's kind of what they do. It's their job.
Don't skim over it. Don't skim over it.
I'm just saying.
You're saying people are mentors, and you're saying people are
You're comparing
here we go.
a shiesty lawyer to a Grand Kleagle in the KKK. Wow. You do know that, right?
Do you see how?
You do know that, right?
Do you see how
a ruthless attorney doing his job? A ruthless attorney doing his job versus a Grand Kleagle or Klugel, whatever it's called in the KKK.
Yeah, a mentor builds you up. A mentor will build you up. I don't think that that an attorney is gonna influence that much the Trump family to help build.
Even if he did,
him as a kid,
he's not a member of the KKK.
Yeah, but Biden wasn't a member of the KKK either.
As far as we know so far. Because he does love to talk about how he's from a slave state. He never says a former slave state. First of all, why would you even describe where you live in that nature anyway, unless it's on your mind? But so no, he loves.
So now you're Cleo. Now you're Cleo.
I'm just saying.
Read people's minds.
Those are the words that are coming out of Biden's mouth. I'm from a slave state. Those are his words. I'm from a slave state.
So it's either you're reading people's minds and you know what they're going to say. You know
no,
what
he
they
has said
are,
that.
But I literally said he's not KKK, and you said as far as we know. So
right, I didn't say he was. I didn't say he was.
But did he say it?
But I didn't say he was. So now you're putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm
not. You're putting words in my mouth because I never said he was. I said as far as we know, he's not.
I am not putting words in your mouth.
As far as we know.
So he is not. We don't know any evidence that says he is. So we
as far as we know, he's not. It's the same thing. We're saying the same thing.
So now if I'm looking at Roy Cohen and we're talking about mentors, okay, if
he's not in the KKK.
As far as we know. Correct?
Okay. As far as we know.
Exactly. As far as we know.
That's
but Robert Berg, we do know, and not only was he in it, he was up in it. I mean, he was like a leader.
Well, let me add something. So we don't know about him on that aspect, but I mean, somebody who was closer to him, from the same party, Kamala Harris, called him a racist.
She sure did.
Call who?
But now she's dying to be VP. So.
Yeah. So she denounced him from being a racist. She was like, no, you're a racist because of this, and this. And now she's like, oh no, I'm support Biden because he's the running guy. I like to be her VP. I'm like, what?
But she was right. She says that she was a victim of not a victim, or she was one of the first people to be bused or whatever. And so she had an issue with Biden because he was against busing. For integration purposes. So that was her problem with it. And since she was one of the first people in her county, city, or whatever, when she was little to actually be integrated and bused, I could see why she would have a grievance, but she has no principles because she's willing to forget all of her hurt to be VP. Or because she does own a weapon. She is a gun-toting mama. I could totally see her taking Biden out so she could be president. She is extremely ambitious.
Let me play you this video real quick. Hopefully you guys can, maybe you guys can see it real quick, okay? I'm sharing with you guys. Ready?
It was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
It's a mischaracterization of my position across the board. I did not praise racist. That is not true. Number one. Number two, if we want to have this campaign litigated on who supports civil rights and whether I did or not, I'm happy to do that.
Indian,
I was a public defender. I didn't become a prosecutor. I
like
came out,
East
I
Indian.
left a good law firm to become a public defender. Number two,
Red dot.
as the Vice President of the United States, I work with a man who, in fact, we worked very hard to see to.
This guy almost said he was.
If she wasn't so tightly wound, I would hit it.
If you would what? Hit it? Hell.
So going back to the Black Lives Matter guys, I'm reading the bio on their Black Lives Matter page, and this is a movement, like a take action movement kind of page, kind of organization. They are what they're asking from people is by combating and countering acts of violence, creating space for Black imagination, and innovation. And centering Black joy, we are winning immediate improvement in our lives. So it's all about take action. It's all about doing something, you know? It's not about peaceful things. Um, we are working for a world where Blacks' lives are no longer systematically targeted for demise. We affirm our humanity, our contributions to this society, and our resilience in the face of deadly oppression. The call for Black Lives Matter is a rallying cry for all Black lives striving for liberation. So I think by these words, guess that people still slaves in America. So I don't know. I don't know.
You want to know if you'll, I can't tell you specifically where on the website because it's been a while since I've been up there.
Right.
But, and I know it is Black Lives Matter, and I should say kudos to them for including Hispanics as well.
Yeah.
But do you know that they only support or give aid to illegal Hispanics if they are, like it specifically says illegal.
That is correct.
So basically, if you are being discriminated against or oppressed in some form or fashion and you are legal and Hispanic, don't call them. They don't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I seen a couple of days ago I posted this video where this guy was like talking about, hey, Mexican people, wake up, how many Mexicans are police are not killing X, Y, and Z in California, in these places, and then you don't see revolution happening for us, and then he started talking about Black Lives Matter, how they funnel money, how they make small issues big issues, how they don't condemn black on black murder. And then I was like, I never saw it that way, like, oh shit, like what I'm supposed to do, because into the eyes of the regular, the casual Facebook guy that goes there for a couple hours a day or less than an hour a day, just like, oh, great organization, helping blacks. But in reality, they just they're getting rich, man, by the second, which is good.
What do you think about Black Lives Matter? Diesel.
Me? I think it's bullshit. I'm gonna say I think it's 100% BS. When it first came out, of course, we thought it was good to be heard, but it's more something to kind of separate us. And once you separate and divide people, then that's how you're easily conquered. I think we should stand together. Like I said, as Americans, I'm not American, but I consider myself, I've been in America most of my life. So as Americans, and just say, you know what, it's a cop out to say all lives matter, but literally it does. Like, it shouldn't come to a point where we should just single out a race or a creed. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid, man. That's stupid. Like I remember
nationality and not ethnicity.
I remember the Million Man March.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Million Man March, and that was impactful. You know what I'm saying? It was all men that came together. It didn't matter who, I think majority were black, but it was all men, and they just peacefully walked. And of course, my views on what Farrakhan says. You know who I'm talking about, Farrakhan?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm just making sure.
Him. I am black.
Whatever. I don't necessarily believe on every, like, he'll make a point, and then he'll like make a point so he can capture your ears, and then he will put in his rhetoric so he can make you believe something else, or make you believe, the white man is the white, you know what I'm saying? I don't really like that, because he does spew a lot of hate sometimes and frustrate. It's more or less frustration. But we just need to come. Black Lives Matter is trash, especially if when I looked at the paperwork, if you go, I don't have it pulled up, but pretty much all their stuff that they're donating or they give the money to is to the Democratic Party. And just talking to you guys, why are we in the Democratic Party just to be in the Democratic Party if they're not even helping the black people out? Or
they do a lot of kneeling.
Shut up.
Let me show you something that happened in North Carolina on February 2020. And this is Tony Rankings and President Trump on the North Carolina Opportunity Now Summit. Lisa, you should know that. This is from your home state. So let's listen to it.
I'm not a public speaker, so bear with me. First of all, I would like to thank the President for signing this bill, because without it, I wouldn't be standing here before you right now. It means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to the people that we're going to help. I was homeless, and due to that fact, I know how it feels, and I know that sometimes when you're down, you don't feel like getting up. But with this bill that has been passed, it's going to be an opportunity for a lot of people to not be homeless and to get back on their feet and go back with their families. And I would just like to thank the President of the United States for doing this. Thank you.
So what do we think, guys? So you think that is he racist? Is Trump really a racist?
No. I think that Trump looks at everybody as, how is this going to either A, make me money, or B, make me more famous. I don't think that he is looking at Black, white, Hispanic, or male, female, LGBT. I think he's just looking for what is going to benefit him. Like, I think he likes and dislikes everybody equally.
I don't like this stuff because their last couple of days, they have been pandering to black people. Like, if I see another black person standing next to Trump, because he knows this is such a, oh, I got to prove to America that I know a black person. This is so ridiculous.
Okay.
No, it is. So you pull up a black man that's homeless, so you can sit in the back and like, yeah, tell him what I did for you. Tell him what I did for you. No, hold up. I'll let you talk. You know what I'm saying? Tell him what I did for you. Go ahead and show him all the stuff I did. Trump is I don't think he's racist, but I think that he's doing too much right now because he's trying to get that dang on vote. He's bringing everybody who is black in power, around him. He's like, yeah, where's the Hispanic people? I ain't seen one Hispanic person with him in the last 2 weeks, but all I've seen was black people with him. He might as well bring Oprah Winfrey next.
Okay.
Like, they're pandering. Like, he's doing too much.
Okay.
He's doing too much. He needs to chill out.
So okay, let me tell you something. So for my opinion, my count, okay, where's the Hispanic people? So he's saying enough money to Puerto Rico during this coronavirus pandemic, so they can receive not one but two stimulus checks. Okay, not one but two. Every and this is and the second check is coming up. The same opportunities that the federal government is given in the United States to all these businesses and proprietors. Either if you have an LLC or whatever, you still have it in Puerto Rico, pushed by Trump. You know where he was for Hispanics. I won't say for the last 2 months. Probably but I can tell you that for the last 3.5 years, I can tell you that he's been giving us the lowest unemployment rates in a long, very time, and not just to Hispanics, but to minorities, to include who's after us. Oh, Black Americans. But that's a fact, you know. I mean,
it don't really stink. Like I said, it don't stink.
It used to be number 2, so it's
who's going to win this election?
All I'm saying
who's going to win the elections?
I'm
telling you.
I got what he's been doing, but now it's like he's throwing it in people's face. Like
he is
like
not. Oh my God, he is not.
So
look on the news.
This is classic Trump. This is classic Trump. There has not been. You have to think about all you know about Trump. How many photo ops has he had with boxers who are always of color because it's a color-dominated sport? Think about all the photo ops in the 80s and 90s he took with them. Any opportunity he can get into the press with a celebrity, like it's classic Trump. It's not pandering. The dude is all about the photo op.
Yeah.
And hey, the things he's just working on happens to be benefiting Black people. So, okay, so it's a photo op with the Black people. But it used to be photo op with whoever's boxing, photo op with whoever's wrestling, photo op with whatever that TV show that he had for like 9 years.
Stop. Yeah, you're fired or something like that.
Yeah, but that's classic. That is classic Trump.
Leave the Black people alone. Go take a photo op with some Hispanic
leave the Black people alone?
Right
Why leave the Black people? He's working. Oh my gosh, he is working. Look, he is doing all the work for Black people.
I'm not saying.
Why do you want him to stop?
I didn't say
very
stop
confused.
The work. I did not say stop the work.
But that's the point of the photo op. He did something and he takes a photo about it.
Wow. Okay, so he's not doing nothing for white people right now? He ain't doing nothing for Hispanic people right now? That what you told me?
He takes plenty of photos with white people.
You're telling me he ain't doing nothing?
He takes plenty of photos with white people. Ricky just laid that out for you. But he takes plenty of photos with white people.
Yeah, we talking about Puerto Rico right now. So all right,
okay, that's a part of America, and they're Latin. So
I'm saying this whole George Floyd thing is such a hot topic that it's like he is throwing it in people's face and says, "I'm not racist."
He's not throwing it.
He's just not
stopping. He's just not stopping his work. He's just not stopping his work. That's all. He can walk and chew gum at the same time. So yes, the George Floyd thing is going on, but at the same time, he is still doing all this good work.
He's doing too much, man.
So I don't need him to stop because for the first time, he's the first president that is actually making mad moves in favor. Mad move. I'm not hip. I don't know the lingo.
Mad moves? Where'd you get your?
I don't know.
Where'd you get your lingo from? Saved by the Bell?
I love Saved by the Bell.
Hey, look. I'm okay. I'm okay with him working, right? I just don't want every day for this whole week to be like a damn Black History Month, dog. Like literally, I see what you're doing, Trump, but he's using the Black. He's.
I don't think he's using. That's the difference. He is just being his normal self. Right, you just find it to be the inappropriate time. I don't think it's using. Maybe it's
no. Yeah. It's the timing, man. Just chill out, Trump.
So quick question.
He's being obnoxious a little bit right now.
But he's always obnoxious. That's his personality.
So
he is always obnoxious.
That's fair. Can we say the same thing about Biden going to the one of the most high rated shows in America, going to see that God, on Sirius XM?
Yeah.
The charlatan, that's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Charlatan?
Charlemagne, the God. Yeah.
The God.
Charlemagne,
Yeah. I mean, so it's I think we got points both sides. I understand this is what you're saying. But I think that based on the status and the pressures that everybody's receiving, that he's receiving for for not being, more present with the Black community. He's doing what he can because he wants to unite. People were saying like, you need to unite, unite. And now that he's trying to do it, he's getting boycotted, and it's fair. He's not going to win everybody's vote, but in addition to that, there's a lot of people that are taking notes, and then they're seeing that he's trying. And again, for the last 3 years, not 2 months, 6 months, for the last 3 years, lowest unemployment rates. More Blacks, more Hispanics working. Putting monies on their pockets. Now,
I agree with that.
Now we go to this situation that happened, and then I don't know where it just get not 20 seconds, not 1 minute, but it gets hours and hours on all social media. It's like all social media, like they get on the hotline and they're talking, we need to push this agenda right now. And then you got Black Lives Matters, and before you know it, we got a riot. And then you're like, wait a second. They just killed a police officer for a plasma TV on a pawn shop. Are we gonna reverse the whole thing? No, that guy just died. Nobody talk about it. It was like a 1-day thing, maybe 2 days. So where we are, guys. So if you are in the chat, please call the show 520-261-7246. We're gonna let you talk. We're gonna let you express your mind. And if you have any questions for any of us, let me know. Okay, Mark Dune, you talking about Trump loves to troll. Come on, man. American favorite Brazilian. By the way, AFB is one of our top donors. So thank you so much.
Favorite listener.
Favorite. And we're here, guys, to, we're just 3 guys from different part of the country who are just, talking, man. Because, by the way, we cover the whole United States, from east to west. We do.
We do.
So
we do. But see, what I was saying, look, hey, AFB, I like you, man. Thank you for agreeing with me. You know what I'm saying? Trump does do that stupid stuff. I'm just saying it's gonna hurt him. It's hurting him.
How do you know he's not a scrapbooker?
Oh,
whatever.
I'm just saying, how do you know he's not a scrap? He's an old man. How do you know he's not a scrapbooker?
What does a scrapbooker mean?
A person who makes scrapbooks. Like, how do you know he don't need all these photos because he's a scrapbook? He's an old man.
Shut up.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. You don't know what his hobbies are.
That was a good setup.
You shouldn't just assume that he's pandering. I mean, he's an old man, and he does do a lot of photo ops, but he's always done that. He's always done that, right?
Well,
I'm thinking scrapbooker.
Well, I'm thinking you're a jackass. What I wanted, what I'm trying to say is, so what Biden did, Charlemagne, pandering. Let me go to the Black community. I know they're listening to Charlemagne the God, and I'm gonna say if you got a problem of voting, what he say, that you ain't Black or something like that.
If you're not sure, if you have to think about voting for me or something like that, then you ain't Black.
Like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, that is pandering. Like that. Like, Trump he's not that out there. The only thing he said was to the Black community,
give me a chance. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Give me a chance.
What do you guys have to lose? That's what he said.
Which means give me a chance. That's what that.
Stop.
What do you have to lose means give me a chance.
Hold up, Miss Lisa. You like to say what people said. Let's say what he said, not what you think he said.
I don't. That's like the meaning of the phrase.
I'm saying
that's the meaning of the phrase.
I'm saying the phrase. Nobody wants no meaning of what you think it is. But when he said that, it came off like we understood what you're saying, but it's how you're saying it, whatever. But I understood that. But when you're putting a Black person every day on the damn thing, you're going to Tulsa. When have you been to Tulsa, Trump?
I'm pretty sure he's been there before. He has like these stupid rallies all the freaking time.
Are you pretty sure? When? Tell me. Let's look it up.
I can't stand the rallies, so I don't pay attention to them. But
so if you're pretty sure, let me get your pretty sure facts.
You're right. Let me look it up.
Okay, but it's just like stuff like that, man. He needs to stop that stuff.
No, he's not pandering. He has always been. You can find probably about a bazillion photos of Trump and insert famous black person here.
But you're not listening. What I'm saying is the voters.
This is not new to Trump.
The voters, right? Because it's now more of the younger generation is coming out, and they say we got to make a change. We got to vote, right? We got to vote. He said he rallied there in 2016. That's what I heard. He rallied there in 2016. So it was
Googling.
Well, that's what he said in the chat. Somebody said in the chat. But that's 4 years ago, right? Rallied there 4 years ago. But what I'm saying is this. The regular voters, the people who are going to just vote Democrat, just to vote Democrat, right? They're going to look at Trump and they're going to look at him the same aspect I'm saying, like, oh, so he's just like, when you were a kid and your mother and your father came to school and then you like this, you putting your head down, whatever.
My parents never gone to my school.
I forgot you're not from this world. I forgot. But when you pretend to do the work and your mother falls and you look up like,
no, that's never happened to me.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a good person, a good kid. I was a good kid. Why would my parents be at my school?
So anyways, right? It's like Trump it's like he's playing catch up, but he doesn't need to because the proof is in the pudding. He's done his work, right? Just let your work speak for yourself, but he keeps shooting himself in the foot and he's going to lose the votes because people are just going to look at what he's doing now and they're going to say, "Oh, so why is he looking like he's trying to play catch up now?" And that's the issue. If Trump, because he came and everything Ricky was saying is true. Everything about how Trump is helping, doing this, yes, got it. It's true. Trump is not a racist in my mind. He's a money man. He's a businessman. Right? He's not a racist. Because I even told them before Trump became president, he was out there, rappers was talking about him in the music videos. Trump was cool. He was grabbing.
Always about that photo op.
Trump was grabbing girls by their coochie. If you look up, oh yeah.
I know. I heard the clip.
If you look up the lawyer, right? The lawyer who you don't like, Roy Coat, whatever I was saying his name was.
Roy Coat. I never said I didn't like him. I don't know the man. The man's dead.
Well, he died. He actually died from AIDS, right?
Okay.
But he was disembarred. He was doing like real shady stuff, and he was paying people because Trump had a sex allegation with a porn artist or whatever, and he dug that under the rug. That's how Trump is. Trump is like a rock star. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's racist, but he's gonna end up shooting himself in the foot because now he's playing catch up, and I don't like that.
How is he playing catch up?
By taking all these damn photo ops every week as a black man. Hey, today we're gonna
it's just Trump being Trump. When has that man not had a photo op since he got famous in the 80s?
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. This week
when has he not? The National Enquirer became the National Enquirer because of pictures of Trump.
Well, Trump would take a picture of you, but you're not black.
I am black. How many times I gotta tell you that? The audience is going to start to believe that.
I see the American favorite Brazilian is coming again, man. He's coming with something.
What you I got to meet Trump. Okay.
One second. Let me tell you something. So I got some for you guys,
And look what Brazilian said.
All right. I'm reading.
I got to meet the Trumps except Don Law and the Bolsonaros in Miami on my B-Day, March 5th. with Henzo Gracie right before the pandemic.
But he's
100 a
but
showman.
it's not pandering.
$5, Lisa.
This is
so. I got a question for you guys. You know, because
Trump.
He's done more for minorities and for Black Americans than even President Obama. President Obama more. So let's talk about
First,
HB.
hold on before you say it. AFB, thank you for the donation, the $5. Appreciate it.
We appreciate that, American AFB. So
we love you, bro.
What about Trump signing executive order on the HBCU, saying schools will be priority in his White House?
Hey, I'll mess with Trump, bro. I'm about to join the HBCU right now.
I'm telling you. Are you going to?
No, I'm hey guys, I'm going to Excelsior. I'll be a student next week.
I think the City State University may have online classes.
Yeah.
You don't want to live on that campus. That's why my younger sister, she got her undergrad there. It's nasty.
Yeah, it's an excess of $25 billion, you know, more money than, excess of $25 billion.
So I got a question. I really have a question. So if he's doing so much for minorities, hold on, brain fart. Okay, yeah, he's doing so much for minorities, right? How can the other people that are not minorities, what do you think, how they feel?
They feel great.
I think that when you say other people that are not minorities, you mean Caucasian. White people?
Yeah.
I think that he's doing, a little column A, a little column B, a little column C. I think he's like tossing it out, right, to everybody. He's making a lot of different policies that affect a lot of different groups. Even though we're seeing all of these, or we're highlighting all these things that he's doing for Black people, that is not all that he does. He can walk and chew gum at the same time. I actually see, if I look at everything as a whole, I actually see him governing as one America.
So let me tell you. So to answer that question, this is what we're showing. That this is what Trump shows in social media. This is what the news are reporting. Okay. Oh, as you know, Trump signed executive order. It wasn't a law passed by the Senate, and he signed an executive order. Something that President Obama did not make or do. But if you look at the House and the Senate, and then you look at how many bills they have passed in the month of June, they have passed 97 bills, okay? Anything from, let me tell you, a resolution designating June of 2020 as a great outdoors month, white people, I will say. A bill to provide for supplemental loans under the Paycheck Protection Plan. Everybody who pays taxes, Americans. A bill to amend the bipartisan Congressional Trade Priorities and Accountability Act 2015. A bunch of white people in Congress. Improving Social Security service to victims of Identity Theft Act. There we go, people that word. 97 bills signed into law. So why do the America as a whole, because I don't see colors, why America as a whole has to feel sorry when we should all be just enjoying that we have a president that is lower employment rates, getting the NASDAQ stock, over the sky. He's bringing manufacturing jobs back to America. He's putting tariff on China. So instead of me, let's say that I came with an idea to build this recorder right here, yeah? And then I say, oh, I can make this recorder in China, put it in my hands for $11, for $11. But if I make it in the United States, it's gonna cost me $20. So now if I wanna do it, and I take this to China, it's gonna cost me $25. So what do? I build this in America and put a Made in America sign on the back, and then I can market this not just as a recorder, but also build in the United States, on the USA. So, I mean, I don't know, what else to tell you. I can tell you that this is Phoenix right here on the background, and there's a railroad train, that crashed, and they're burning on fire. So,
well, I do know something that I think it's not black people that are trying to get Trump out of there. It's the white people that were in power, and Trump has stirred up all that stuff. And they're literally, they hate Trump. They want to get him out. So they're going to try to weaponize racism. They're going to try to weaponize fake news. That's what they're doing. And Biden is a typical politician that fits what they have, their model of, oh, well, he's going to play ball. He's going to pass our bills. He's not going to say that we have fake news. He's not going to be tweeting all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said that, he has to be very easy on what he does, especially if he's trying to get reelected this year, which I hope he does. I hope Trump gets reelected, but it's going to be hard because America, this whole Black Lives Matter thing, it's not in Trump's favor at all.
Correct.
This is exactly what happened to Kaiser Friedrich Wilhelm. I just want to let everybody know that when Wilhelm was, King Kaiser of Germany, people were like, I want this, I want that, I want this. And he's like losing power. So he's like, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. And then since he was bending to the people's will, trying to do his best to make everybody better, then that's when the Nazi party started spreading all these lies. And well, first they got a common enemy, which was the Jews. And then they started spreading lies about the power in the press. They weaponized the press. They indoctrinated the youth. Doesn't this all sound familiar?
It does, doesn't it?
They indoctrinated the youth. They weaponized the press. They got a common enemy, and boom, down with the Kaiser. I mean, yeah, down with the Kaiser.
Well, I guess it is.
It also happened that way to the Habsburg Empire and the Roman Empire, and I could go on. Nebuchadnezzar II. I think that's minus the press, obviously.
Right.
That's how he got taken out.
So
I love that Nebuchadnezzar.
What else did your alien parents tell you about human civilization?
My parents aren't alien. My dad's from North Carolina. My mom's from Virginia.
Well, you're not from the You're not from the Earth. This is Earth.
I'm from North Carolina.
Hold on. This is Earth. Hello.
I'm from North Carolina, and that happens to be the best state in the whole U.S. of A.
Anyway,
I thought you're moving though.
Just literally across the border to Chesapeake, Virginia. I live right on the border. I live on the border. Like the gas station is called Border Station because half of it is in Virginia and half of it's in North Carolina.
Okay, guys, I think we covered plenty of terrain today. I think it was pretty good. I think we did a pretty good job with the chat and then the subject that we discussed today. We're coming back on Monday, yeah.
Monday,
Wednesdays, on Fridays.
Unless something happens, and then we have to do a immediate podcast.
Yeah, I mean, if the opportunity arises where I finally get to be the chief overlord of the world, I finally do my takeover, then we have to go on air. Correct. I have to announce it.
And we are here, guys. We love and appreciate your support. We appreciate your super chats, your donations. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this little video so your friends can see it and tell them, hey, this is not a place where we're trying to be like the best YouTubers. We're not trying to be Joe Rogan podcast. We're just trying to open up a mic, give you guys a number to call, give you guys a chat so you guys can express yourself without being blocked or whatever the case may be. And as long as we can do this, we want to roll with it. So thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Have a good day, guys.
Juneteenth.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Juneteenth.
I can't even do that. What you did.
see, now you can't communicate properly. I quit. All right, so hold on. They asked in the chat, why is she an alien? She's an alien. You're an alien because you don't know how to interact with humans.
I am antisocial. That is true. Because people suck. They're mean to me.
The human race.
I will dominate you all. I'm like Marvin the
guys.
Martian. I will dominate you all.
Awesome.